Who says that his method is not superior, but who's that his method? How can we? Where can I find the scale for it? I want to find a the 5S scale for it, and that should be helpful. Or what? The color scheme? Anything would be helpful. Huh? Where does orange lie on the 5S scale? Uh, every company, every according to what we know, there can be a several different ways that the scale is set up depending on where you're at, and so it has its own organic creation, conception, you know. So it has all that, and then how you deliver it is when you see it delivered perfectly, you know it, you know. When you get excited about seeing it done perfectly, you are very you're getting into you're getting into the business. Yeah, yeah. And so I like still being excited about it. I know Chris Kardashian, she got excited about it too. So I'd rather please the person than that board of directors only at Disney in the video. There's a type of every of the world. So I love them very much. And then but if they look at who's Walt Disney, and then if they do the match face on everybody in all time with all pictures and find out who is it, you know what I mean? Well, I already know who it is. I was at his house but because of Sam and Demilote, and they have a very tall picture. Pictures this tall. They didn't even chip. That's funny. Two of them standing next to each other, and that's Lee Bouvier, the Incarnate Foundation. En fond, venez de commencer la vidéo, je fais là. J'ai fait des médias, en pendant qu'on est en vidéo, le vidéo. Ça fait un mois qu'on est en vidéo. J'ai fait un fond vidéo. Ça fait un bon vidéo. And then I saw him again on the television at at a I'm not mad. Sam is gonna be mad because well, yeah, he was very. We were talking about the. It was some kind of test last night, and well, because earlier in the day I saw Prince Harry drive in front of Buckingham Palace with the Jaguar blue, like my Cadillac, and he was upset because in his face, and so I thought that for sure that he was outside the gates, you know, and I had him driving along the gate. So I don't know. I think that means because of the firing squad. Exactly, because the firing squad on the movie, and he in the general from Amen in the spirit went to get the one out of the way, right? Like, but that's not what we have this right here for. You know what I mean? And that's cool because well, we all know that that was on the movie London Has Fallen, and I love that movie because, but I was asked a question if it was to get the royal family was when they watched it, they had already planned for the security of it and everything like that, right? But then, how did they feel about it being done because of feng shui and because of yeah? Are they very? Because now I look at superstitious as a math or a science, and I didn't know to look at it like that early on. I call it superstition, like, oh, you're just having another holiday without me. You know what I mean? Or something like that. For the Mexican, yeah, for the Mexican societies or whatever. And like it doesn't like why didn't I know about that? And what is it? Because it came up out of nowhere. Didn't film the video. Didn't film me. And then if you're shouting from the upstairs, I'm happy, but it's just when it should be open, you should be able to be shouting. Because there's that would be awesome. That's gonna be fun today. But we're barely getting to where we're okay hearing each other speak. But I haven't heard anybody else speak, and except for my mom today earlier. I was so happy. Yeah, so she's the right. She has the right answer for everything, but then she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to impress anybody. But then she has to want to impress herself. You know. So I want to give her all of my all the things I found about her that should be impressive, but that she knows already, but in like a time release manner, so that she could just be, so she could talk about them. Did you all did it? Or she already did this. Então foi muito demorante. Só eu mesmo. Ah, olha, peraí. Não foi muito melhor. Mas eu disse que eu não. Den filmen som c'est fait en fait que là en fait vraiment pour les gamins c'est fait le bâtiment pour les gamins si tu veux la passer là that's juniors and then you can move that how through invisibility or through higher intonation. Yeah, excellent. It looks like somebody. Doesn't it look like somebody sitting right there like this? And Sam would be in this picture too, would be like this. I saw him the other day, remember? And he was at the Daily Way. And he was chasing after the baby in red. And the red, he had red caterpillar on the baby, and he had he had caterpillar on too in a vest, I think, or a sweater vest. No, it was like one of the ones that Michael Kennedy looked like had on last night. But who I'm not incredibly. I'm feeling nervous because I would like to know who else is feeling nervous about knowing that I talk about everything. You know what I mean? And so that, like over there at Junior's house, the person's underground or something. They were telling me, do not explain to somebody that they look like them or something. Like, especially they're on the news and they have a different name. So, Mr. Donovan, I'm gonna have to ask you, or Mr. Marquez, yes, Suzanne Marquez, our good king, the producer for life. Of life, is that cool, or is that a security alert? But eventually, I'm gonna have to want to talk to that about that. You know what I mean? So I'm talking to the Mexican Mafia about it and everything. And Ludacris, and who I have to find his real name, and his sister Lala, and then and her real name, and then my mom Yaya and her real name. Well, I know that everybody can. Where did I get this information from? What's the question? Okay, yeah. Well, I could get it from the everything else. You know. earlier today, I heard my coaching lesson, and it felt like the end of the world, didn't it? And I saw more kids today too. Dentro de uma hora, yeah, that's how it looks. Oh man, you know what? Get out of here. That is a good mortgage, but is actually the a very good one. And what's the most good one? The non-existent one. But then, what color car will we all be driving? The same one? 100 of them, right? Red cars to Egypt or in Egypt, right? Or is that about? Because why have all the numbers of freeways here if we just gonna already? Can we already get rid of them? Because we already past that phase. Well, see, when Junior and I get heated, I want to know what's happening over here, because the relay I'm getting is that my mom and dad are fighting, that my mom is feeling left up, that Justin's beating him up, that Michael was here beating them up, Tony beat him up several times, and I could hear it. And well, that security system isn't good enough, Gibraltar. Then viens quand? Then venice l'arrivo alla via. Sheffield lutti corabon. And Benminachu. My sister too got beat up too, and she was here too yesterday beating up my mom. That's what I heard. And then I don't know why, but Robert De Leon's voice keep coming in the com with and her and Queen Elizabeth, Prince Harry, and somebody else. And I guess that they figured out that they had to get my attention, and I don't know why. Probably when they were, hopefully not when they're asleep, because when I was at Junior's house, he had left to Joe's, and I was in the dark room, and I could see a vision, a very good one, and it was shown. It was about my mom and dad, and about a dream that they had, and I said they better not have seen this dream. You know what I mean? Because it was scary about somebody getting their head chopped off, and then my immediate concern was how many times are they sleeping like that, and then they said it was in front of Leah and Justin, and I said, well, probably when my mom was asleep on the sofa, you know, and then that Justin and Leah were there, and that she was having a dream, but that she didn't cry, because I heard that I don't know if the word premonition came to mind to think of how it felt. It felt as though that she was crying in her sleep. And well, how are we gonna know if she's ever crying in her sleep? And when Connie and Thea Lydia were here, that's when she